Guys, welcome back, Bushcraft family, with another video, and hopefully this one is one of the educational type videos. Imagine having to leave your house really fast. You know, you have to get out or else type of thing. If somebody knocked on your door, meaning emergency person of some sort, sheriff, whatever, or somebody going down the road saying evacuate, you have so many minutes to get out of your home, that kind of thing. Could you do it? Not tomorrow, not next week, 10 minutes. Not before you go shopping and get enough stuff to last for a week. Not after you have time to watch one of my prepping videos. Right now, what would you grab? What would you leave behind? Would your family know what to do? Today, we're talking about, or we're walking through the 10-minute evacuation challenge. A simple exercise that everybody can do. Reveals how prepared you really are. And it's a good way to learn, very good way. And it takes 10, 15 minutes, 10 minutes to actually get out, and then 5, 10 minutes after that to figure out what you did wrong or how to improve. Because in an emergency, every minute counts. Every minute, it really does. Now, what are some reasons? And again, this isn't about living in fear. It's about being ready for those rare moments when every minute counts. That's life or death, so to speak. There are many reasons why somebody would have to evacuate in 10 minutes. There's wildfires, flooding, nearby hazardous material incident, because it happened not too long ago. The derailment from a train, a whole community had to evacuate in 10 minutes. A very fast moving storm that could be devastating. A gas leak, a house fire, not to mention, the other prepping scenarios that there is out there. We've got a lot of stuff with Iran going on right now, and so much other stuff that we could go over. But the focus is that 10 minutes, and not so much the why, but how. Okay, we're going to start by starting with 1 minute. We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty, so to speak. The first thing you do in any situation like this, don't panic. Panic, it messes with you, so you can't think straight and you make mistakes. Take one deep breath, and preparation creates confidence. So you could have somebody that never prepared at all, and somebody that's really prepared. They know exactly what to grab and how to get out and all that stuff. And you watch the difference in their manners from the unprepared and the prepared. You can see the difference. And that's if you planned ahead, because those 10 minutes are so much more prepared than somebody that's not. The second minute, before grabbing any gear, make sure everyone is together, children, older family members, pets. A plan includes everyone in the household. Know who is responsible for what before the emergency happens. That is so important. When we get done with this, I'll explain a little bit better how my family used to prepare for stuff like this. But we're in 3 minutes now. If you've packed a bug out bag, now is when it earns its keep. Inside should be the basics: water, snacks, flashlights, first aid kit, extra clothing, phone charger, multi-tool, copies of important documents. And this could be paper form, or it could be on a thumb drive. You don't have to carry everything you own. You need enough to help you get through the first and second day, or a little longer. Minute 4. We're up to 4 minutes now. One of the most overlooked items when these emergencies happen is prescription medicines. Your alarm goes off on your watch and you're like, oh, I left my prescription in the house. By that time, it's too late. And sometimes it could be life-threatening when you skip a medication. Have a plan. Talk with your healthcare provider and pharmacy about options for emergency preparedness. If you have an ongoing prescription or prescriptions, grab eyeglasses. If you have extras, have an extra in your bug out bag. Hearing aids, medical devices. There's a lot of things that help people, and you wouldn't want to leave that kind of stuff behind. These aren't luxuries. They're not like a game or something. It's life. These are necessities. Moving on to the halfway mark, 5 minutes. Think about the paperwork that's difficult to replace: identification, insurance, property records, medical information, emergency contacts. Many people keep copies in a waterproof folder or secure digital backup. 6, don't forget your furry family members. I know there's people out there that could care two shakes about their pets, but these guys are family. And have a leash, a carrier, pet food, water bowl, any medications they need. If you have pets, include them in the evacuation plan. It's not as an afterthought, like, oh, dang, I should have thought about that, and shoulda, woulda, coulda. Could be life-threatening. Let's go to 7 minute time now. It's getting close, when you have to be out. If it's not safe to do so, and local guidance doesn't say otherwise, turn off appliances you've been using. Close and lock doors. Follow the official evacuation instructions for your area. Don't delay leaving if conditions are very dangerous. Just don't say, oh, I got 5 more minutes. That 5 more minutes you may never get back. Your safety comes first. 8 minutes. Communication. Can everyone in your family reach each other? Choose a meeting place. Have an out-of-town contact everyone can call or text. Cell service may become overloaded or, just not work. A simple family plan can prevent confusion. Here we go. 9 minutes. Is your vehicle ready? How much fuel is in the tank? Do you have jumper cables, flashlights, blankets, water, emergency, or basic emergency supplies? Keep your vehicle responsibly prepared through the year, and it makes last minute departures much easier. And depending on your area, everybody has different emergencies and stuff. Up here, it can get brutal cold. So you would want to prepare for that also in your car. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We're at the 10-minute mark now. This is where many people hesitate. They look around, trying to decide what else to grab. Remember, things can often be replaced. People can't. If officials tell you it's time to leave, go. Don't wait until roads are crowded or conditions become more dangerous. Just think in your area. I'm in a small town, but say when the 4th of July time comes and everybody's downtown and the fireworks are over, it takes forever for people to get out of town or get to their homes and stuff because it's so crowded. Just imagine that in an emergency. So every minute you hesitate and stay there for that 10 minutes could be the longer for you to get out of that area for whatever reason. Let's put on here things people forget and may go back in your house after that 10 minutes and try to find it. So these are important to have put in a bug out situation. I didn't want to say bug out, but it is what it is. Anyways, these are common things that people forget and could waste more time looking for. We've gone over a few of them. One is a phone charger. What good is your phone if you can't charge it? Prescription medicines, like we said before, pet supplies. If you have pets, they can have bug out bags too. I know some people that have full-size dogs and they have bug out bags that they fitted for their dogs that they wear themselves and that carries their water and their food supply and their medication and stuff like that. That is real important. A lot of people forget their wallet. It's sitting there on the table and You're halfway down the road. So, oh, I forgot my wallet. I have to go back. That is time wasted that you couldn't get back if bad things happen. And you wouldn't want to put your family in danger just for a wallet. House keys, eyeglasses, important documents, family photos stored in one place. You know, too often nowadays it's not a big deal for family photos because they're all on your phone. But for us that used to take actual pictures and have to go get them developed, we have a ton of pictures of your family growing up and whatnot. Cash, you know, a lot of people, you'd be surprised, don't have cash anymore. You should always have a certain amount in your wallet. A simple change of clothes. These little things can make a stressful situation a lot easier. If you already know you have the stuff ready to go at a moment's notice, when you tell your family, you know, what your job is and what your job is and what you're supposed to do. Now here's the challenge. Here's something I'd like everyone watching to try, even if you're by yourself. More importantly, if you're with your family, get them involved. This weekend, set a timer for 10 minutes. Tell your family, we have to leave. See what happens. You'll probably discover you can't find the flashlight. The bug out bag is either empty or it's missing a whole bunch of stuff. Your pet carriers, they're in the garage or in the basement or something. Nobody knows where the important papers are. That's okay. It's much better to discover these problems during practice than during a real emergency, because that's where a lot of people learn their mistakes. And sometimes it could be very bad. We'll just leave it at that. And this is a lot different than a survival bug out bag. This is a go bag, so to speak. What's in it? You know, here's what I keep in mind. I have multiple bags, you know, for whatever reason. I have get home bags. I have go bags. I have a bag in the vehicle, you know, but just a normal go bag. Have water bottle. Have a way to filter water because you never know. First aid kit. Flashlight or flashlights. If you're like 101, you probably have a whole bag just for flashlights. Extra batteries. Headlamp. Multi-tool. Fire starter. Emergency blanket. A poncho. Work gloves. Power bank. Charging cables. Protein bars. Notebook and pen. Copies of important papers. A little cash. The goal isn't to prepare for every situation. That's impossible. It's to give yourself a solid starting point. And that's very important. What my family and I used to do wasn't so much, you know, like a bunch of bug out bags and all of this, but bug out bags or whatever you want to call them, everybody in the family should have one. And everybody in the family should prepare their own, because not everyone is the same. That's why, you know, it irritates me when you make these bug out bag videos. Oh, you need this, you need that. Oh, that's too many of those things. There's so many experts out there, and there is no expert, so to speak, because nobody can prepare for every situation. The bug out bag or the go bag or get home bag has to be suited for you, not everybody on the internet. I've had people saying, you need to carry a cast iron Dutch oven. I'm like, who's carrying this thing? By the time I put everything in there, this thing's going to be 400 pounds and I'm going to flop over and not be able to get up. It has to suit you, not anybody else. Just like if you have a 5-year-old kid, it has to suit them. You don't have a bug out bag that weighs 20 pounds. You have what they need to help you survive however long you'd be out there or on the way to wherever you're going. And that's the important thing. We used to have multiple different scenarios. Some just getting out of the house because there could be a fire. I'd wake everybody up at 3:00 in the morning and beep, 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 with a horn. I know it pissed the neighbors off, and then we would do our thing and get out the house and meet in a certain location, not by the house, because if it was on fire, you didn't want to be by the house. One kid would be in charge of making sure nobody was upstairs after everybody got their stuff. Another one was in charge of getting this, and everybody had their job. And it makes it so much easier instead of that one person thinking of everybody's job. And it's about not being scared. When that fear sets in or that panic, your brain shuts down and you forget so much. So if you're prepared ahead of time, it's just natural. It's a natural flow. You can boom, 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 you're out of there. If you can get out before that 10 minutes, you'd be surprised of your area, how with everybody trying to get out, how much it would bog down. And if you had 10 minutes to get out of your whole city, ooh, geez. Now, what I want to hear from you guys down in the comments, if you had 10 minutes to leave your home, what's the first thing you'd grab after your family and pets? I'll give you the family and pets. So I don't want to hear, I'd grab, and I'd wake my husband up and drag him out of the house, something like that. But I want to know what other thing you would grab if you had 10 minutes to hurry up and get out the house. Not your family or your pets. Let me know down in the comments. And hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully I'll get people to go out there and start doing these emergency scenarios, so to speak, and get a plan. Get a plan set in stone to where everybody knows it. Or if it's just you and your pets, then, that's even more important because you have more to do, more to prepare for. Stay prepared, stay safe. Like always, God bless.